we're looking at like moving an hour away from London, hour and a half away from London maybe. Do you know what? I've been to Harrods a couple of times this year and I haven't filmed in there because I hate filming in Harrods. I mean, I do still have some of you say to me, I thought you weren't buying anymore. And I've never said that. I've never come on here and said, people would be giving you, flipping you the bird because they were annoyed that you had the car. Hi everyone, I hope everyone's well, and if you celebrate Christmas, are you ready for it? I actually am, but it's been the busiest couple of weeks. And I already feel Christmased out. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but you know when you go out, like even to the hairdresser or to a shopping centre or to a restaurant, and they're playing Christmas music, and in early December, you feel, oh, I quite like this. It feels quite Christmassy. By the time Christmas Day arrives, if I hear Wham's Last Christmas one more time, and I love that song, but if I hear it anymore, I'm going to scream. But what I thought we could do is a Christmas Q&A. So I said to you guys on Instagram, leave me a question and I will answer it. And I said, let's make it like 2026 Christmassy vibes. So if you, by the way, think, oh, I'd have liked to have left you a question, follow me on Instagram and keep an eye on my stories, because I do Q&As quite often, and that is where I will ask you to leave your questions on Instagram stories. So the first one is from ESTurg102. If you were 18 today, what would you study? Honestly, I would study what I ended up studying. I studied marketing with business and media. And I remember doing the media aspect actually. And they taught us how to edit videos, how to edit magazine front covers using Photoshop, how to film videos using professional cameras and professional lighting, etc. And I found it so interesting. And I remember at the time thinking, I am never going to get a job doing this because this is too much fun. And I never realized that it was actually going to be helpful until I started doing YouTube. And so much that I learnt back then, I use now. And yeah, so I would do the same thing again. CODRUTASH. Please update us on your health. Merry Christmas from Codruta in the United States. Hello to you. Okay, so the situation is, it's the 21st today of December, which is Sunday. I've got my ankle operation next week, and honestly, I'm dreading it. And I'm dreading it because when I had the operation the first time round in October, I had that mole. I was desperate for it to be gone. So I kind of was keen to get the operation done, not knowing I'd have to go back for a second operation. But also I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how much it was going to hurt. And I didn't know how awful the recovery was going to be because they put big old stitches in it. Like I had 2 levels of stitches, one internal level of stitches and then one on the outside. And it was the outside stitch that had to get removed. The internal one's dissolved. So now that I know what to expect and what I'm in for, that's why I'm dreading it. Because although, yes, I want to get the operation done and dusted and behind me and then get the results and hopefully get the all clear, I'm frightened of how much it's going to hurt, because I remember how much it hurt the last time. And the other thing I'm nervous about is like the scar. So the scar's quite sore, still quite sensitive. And the thought of them putting the anaesthetic needle into the existing scar is making me cringe. So I'm going to ask them to go wide, to go onto the normal skin and then work their way in before they just get the needle in the scar, if they're going to do that, because I can't handle that. So thank you for asking. That's what's going on. And I really hope to get it done and dusted and then to get the results and to get the all clear. That is what I'm really hoping for January. Anne-Marie Exynos, not a Q&A, but could you share your everyday ring stacks, please, and your wedding stack? I wear so many rings. I just love it. So this is what I've got on this hand, and These rings are from Paloma Diamonds. So this ring here, I'm hoping this is focused, it's like a wrap ring. This ring here, this is from Ashes into Glass. So this has got the ashes in it of Louis, my rabbit, Louis the First. And then over here, I've got these dot rings. They're like diamond rings from Luxury Promise. And then, let me show you. And then this ring here, which is like a, is it in a focus? It's kind of like a band of diamonds. That's from Paloma Diamonds. On the other hand, I've got two rings here. They're from Paloma Diamonds. And then that is my wedding stack. And I know they don't all match. I've got a mixture here of white gold, yellow gold, and rose gold. And they don't match, but I don't care. You know when you just wear what you like and you like what you wear? That's kind of where I'm at with it. Anderson 66. Do you think Hermes as a brand will ever go out of fashion? No. No, I don't think they will. They've been going for like decades. They will always be a thing, I think. But you know, one of you, Lena, you sent me a link. I need to do a video on it. You sent me a link on Instagram last week. And it's like an article about how the value of Birkins secondhand is going down, down, down because there's this oversaturation of them and people aren't wanting them the way they used to. And I'm finding that really fascinating. So I'll talk about that at some point. Steph DP98, what's your favourite bag in your collection? Probably any of the Lady Dior's I've got. They're the ones that I use the absolute most. And they're the ones that I really like. Gemini Amazon FBA, love you. Any experience with EGF or placenta products, i.e. Dr. Select, etc.? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I will be honest, I don't know what any of that means, but I don't have any experience with it. Kathy Zilber, how many presents did you get Louis? Louis has got some presents that he's going to get on Christmas Day. The reason is that we are going to take him to my parents' house on Christmas Day because we're going to be at my parents' hours and hours, from like the morning through to the evening, because we have like gatherings and then lunch and then presents, etc. And he won't be able to stay here on his own for all those hours. So we're going to take him, and I know when we start opening the presents, he is obsessed with presents. When you start opening packages that come through the door or opening gifts, he gets very excited about the process and he wants to know what's in it. And he normally, if it's like a soft toy, he'll normally run away with the soft toy that's in the package. And I said to David, if we don't get him something, I think he's going to, like, not in a weird way, like he's not like a child, but I know that he's going to expect something in a weird way. So I'm just going to get him a toy. I might just re-wrap up one of his existing toys, actually. UK09 Lynn, after years of buying luxury, what is your most loved purchase? Most loved purchase. I think I'm gonna say most worn. It's got to be some of the ready-to-wear that I've got, because the designer ready-to-wear I've got, I really wear it a lot. And do you know what I've done, you guys? You are going to scream when you hear this. I used to have, and I don't know if you remember it, but I used to have a pale pink Dior bar jacket. And I cannot find it anywhere since the summer. And guess what I did back in the summer? I took a huge bag of clothes to the textile bank. And the textile bank, they destroy everything, because you take textiles there that have had it, you know, like old t-shirts and socks and stuff like that. And the only place that jacket could have fallen into is that bin bag full of stuff. And I cannot find that jacket anywhere. David has looked everywhere, and it was one that I used to wear so often, and it really upsets me I can't find it. We are looking to move at some point, once we found our dream house, because I want it to be our forever home, you know. And I'm hoping that when we move and I reorganise stuff, that it will pop up somewhere, but so far it hasn't. And but that was my favourite item before I lost it. Nigel Crow, love you too. You have said, any holidays, vacation spots you want to visit next year? Next year's going to be a weird one, 2026, because there's a few things I want to do. I'm looking to get a new car. Well, we're looking to get 2 new cars. We're looking to move house. So from the point of view of time. We might not have the time, but also we want to put all of our money into those things. So, and I was saying to David, I quite like to change the direction of the channel. So I've never really shown the house because of security, and also I don't really want the house on the internet, you know. It's like my private space. Years and years and years and years ago, back in 2015, 2014, I don't know how many of you used to watch, but we used to live in a flat, and I used to film in our bedroom, sat on the edge of the bed, because it was the only room in the house that I could do that. And I look back to that now, and I would never put my bedroom on the internet. I just wouldn't do it. But we are looking to potentially change the direction of the channel, where we start filming the interior design aspects. So changing lighting, doing the outside, like if a garden needs doing, like getting a landscape gardener company in, painting, what colours we're going for, decorating, that kind of thing. And I thought that could be quite fun for this channel, because I don't know about you, but I think a lot of you have grown up with me. And although we all were into designer bags, and I know a lot of us still are, I don't feel that we're into them the way that we used to be. And I know a lot of you, your priorities have changed. You might have kids and families now, and that spare money you once spent on a bag, you're spending on other things. And my personal desire for designer stuff has declined as well. I mean, I do still have some of you say to me, I thought you weren't buying anymore. And I've never said that. I've never come on here and said in a video, guys, I'm never going to buy luxury anymore. I've never said it, because it's not true. I will always buy luxury. I will always like it, but I'm not buying it at the rate that I used to, because I feel like I've got everything I want, and I feel a bit jaded with it, a bit bored of it. There's no like new designs out that I haven't already got. I've got what I want. So yeah, I'm hoping that growing the channel up and making it about interiors, I'm still going to do luxury bags, but changing it a bit might be of interest to you. Let me know. Let me know if you would like that. Wild Unfiltered, love you. You're another YouTuber. You said, I miss your vlogs. Will you be doing any more in 2026? Yes, and I'm hoping that once we've eventually found our dream house and we've moved, I'm hoping that the vlogs will be like some interior stuff. Do you know what? I've been to Harrods a couple of times this year, and I haven't filmed in there because I hate filming in Harrods. It's stressful. And I find that if you go to a concession, like a designer concession, unless you're buying something, they don't really want you filming. As soon as they think you're going to buy something, not everywhere, I don't want to make it sound like everywhere, but as soon as some people feel like you're going to buy, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, feel free to film. But if you just walk it, like, of course, if I just walk into like Chanel and I'm not planning on buying anything at all, I just want to film the bags, they're going to tell me no. But as soon as I get talking to someone and they can tell that I'm about to buy, and then I can say, do you mind if I film around here? And a lot of the time they'll go, okay, go on, but only because I'm buying something. And because I haven't really been buying, I mean, even when I have been buying, I just can't be bothered to film. It's a stressful experience, and I have gone past the point where I enjoy taking a camera out and like going up an escalator and talking to myself in the camera, and everyone's staring at you being like, what are you doing? I can't be bothered with it, but I know I need to get back to it. What was the next question? This is from Wendy. Love you, Wendy, as well. Wendy is a Patreon. Wendy has said, hi, Sophie. Can you show us how you wrap your warm scarves? I have not worn a scarf in the longest time. To be honest, Wendy, I take the scarf. I just wrap it round twice. That's what I do with it. I don't do anything fancy. Missy Salama 2025. Just a Merry Christmas to you, David, and the furry kids. Thank you so much. And to you. FA2 pilot, what's a mistake you wouldn't repeat going into 2026? Making New Year's resolutions. I have always done New Year's resolutions because it feels like you should. But the problem is with New Year's resolutions, it's great to have a focus. I'm not saying that. But when you don't hit those targets and you get to the end of the year, you just feel a bit miffed about it. And I think I set my goals way too high at the beginning of this year. So yeah, I'm not going to do New Year's resolutions. And there's nothing that I really did last year that I would change this year. I will say that. I can't think of anything that I could say, oh, I'm not going to do that again. Wings shop a lot. What do you think of Sabato's Gucci that's more understated? I like it. Gucci can be a bit weird, can't it? Like, some of their stuff with the double G's all over it can be a bit garish. I do own some of their stuff with the double G's all over it, but I have to be in a certain mood to wear it. For example, you know, I got the little shit. I love these. How many of you saw these? I put these in a video. Yeah, I like the more understated stuff. I really like the well-cut, well-fitted Gucci blazers that are just plain. That might have like a tiny little belt round them with the double G's on the front, and it's just minimalist, but very well cut. Like, I really like that kind of thing. Zyka 12. Are designer bags items overrated now? Do they still excite? Is there something better to spend on? Yeah, I feel like, for me personally, and it's not the case for everyone, but I feel like for me personally, I kind of started getting bored of it all a couple of years ago. And I've got so much stuff that I don't have space for anything anymore. I'll look at something that I want to buy now, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, I really want it. And then I go, hang on a minute, don't I have something that looks just like that? Oh yeah, I do. Okay, I don't want it anymore. And I think that it's just been a complete change of mindset, because I've got so much stuff that there's not really any space for anything more. Like bags, for example. I have so many bags that don't fit on the shelf anymore. That's why I've been selling a few off recently, and just to kind of like clear space, because some of them are getting damaged because there's so little space. They're crushed up against others. So I feel like generally in the luxury community, let me know if you agree or disagree, but I feel as though a lot of people have got a bit bored of it. And I think also these price rises to a point where some of these items I don't think are worth their new prices. I think that's done it as well. So, but I think other things to spend your money on. We've been putting so much money into investments because that's going to see us through retirement and into our old age. So that's what we've been doing. 2021_BF_. How do you and David keep your relationship spark going? I tell you what we do that's really good. We go out to loads of dinners, loads of lunches, loads of dinners, and we spend that time together where we're not working, we're just chatting and we're enjoying some good food. Or we do like our hotel stays where we'll do like one night somewhere. We try and take a break from work and spend time in each other's company, not talking about work. And I would say, like, if you're in a position where you think, oh, I'd love to go out for dinners, but that's really expensive now, you can do things at home, you know, set up the table, turn off the TV, turn it off, put on some music, cook a nice meal or get a takeaway in, and spend that time together chatting about things that are to do with you two and that aren't necessarily about work or about the kids or about the family, you know, stressful things. Talk about, you know, reminisce about, oh, do you remember when we went here and we did that? Or what do you want to do next week or tomorrow? Should we have a day off? Should we go around the shops? Should we go for a walk, window shop, whatever you want to do? So that's what really works for us, is just making sure we spend that time together. CGOC1, have you considered moving to Dorset, Cornwall or Devon? I love those areas, but they're a bit too far away from London area. We're looking at like moving an hour away from London, hour and a half away from London maybe, but I think Cornwall's kind of 4 hours, 5 hours away, depending on how fast you're driving. And so I think it's just a bit too far for us, but they are beautiful areas, Devon in particular. Mel Riddle, Mel, I love you. What is your favourite Christmas tradition for you and David? Our favourite thing that we always do, and actually I got it from my family, but then David has adopted it now, is Christmas morning. I know you're not meant, I've told you this before, a lot of you are going to be screaming at the screen right now going, I know what it is. We eat panettone for breakfast on Christmas morning. And I know some of you who watch from Italy have said that's a weird thing to do because it's like a dessert that you would have after a meal, or you'd have it with a coffee or something. But it's just something we've always done. And in our family, we like to warm it up so it's warm. We like to put butter on it. It's so weird. I know that you guys in Italy are going to be, this is the weirdest thing. But we like to warm it up, put butter on it and have it in the morning with a coffee. And that is our Christmas tradition. And then we start to put on the Christmas dinner. And although we call it Christmas dinner, we normally eat it around about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Then we do presents. And actually this year, just to let you all know, we've filmed we already had our Christmas couples day at a hotel, which I'll put out on Christmas Day. But we are also going to do something this year on Christmas Eve, where we're going to stay home, cook a turkey dinner, David and I, go for our walk, open a few presents, and I'm going to film that for you as well. So that's going to go out on Christmas Eve, and then you will get your Christmas Day video as you normally would. Next question. Here I go again. What is your New Year's resolution? Mine is to be more patient with everyone, even me. That's a very good New Year's resolution. I'm not setting any because I got annoyed at myself this year because I set New Year's resolutions that I didn't hit the target of. The next one is from Fidelma 1975. How was 2025 for you? I hope 2026 is a great one, Sophie. 2025, it could have been so much worse, but it wasn't the best year. It wasn't the year that I thought it was going to be. I had it down for being this explosive year, you know, the middle of the decade, and it's going to be explosive, and it wasn't. Yeah, it just wasn't. So I'm hoping next year will be better. Sa Tahiri 16. Maybe someone else has already asked this question before, but what are the luxury items you are buying this year? There is a bag from Fendi, and I keep looking at it, but I've already got a baguette, and that's what it is, and I don't need another baguette. But it is from the Emily in Paris collection, so they're doing a capsule collection for Emily in Paris. I don't even watch the show, but I love the look of this bag. Let me know what you think. It's £3,500, so it's not like Chanel money. It's not like 10,000. But David said to me, he's like, haven't you got that shaped bag? And I do. Do I need it again? Let me know. I know I don't have much longer to make my mind up on that because it's like a small collection. So it might already be sold out actually. Q Nifty, would you ever consider a fully electric car? Honestly, to each their own, but no. And also in the UK, a new rule has come in where I think it's in 2028. If you've got an electric car, they're going to charge you per mile. And if you get a hybrid, I think the way it looks is that you've got to pay per mile plus pay your car tax. Which, doesn't that go against the whole reason why you would, like, surely you would want to encourage people to get an electric car, not put them off. So no, I wouldn't do it. I am a internal combustion engine girl. I would only buy electric if I absolutely had to. Also, I like plugging them in at home is just, you'd have to run a cable from the garage unless you got an actual electric thing installed. No. I really feel like hydrogen has got to be the way forward, because electricity still comes from either nuclear or fossil fuels, doesn't it? So, and then you've got the batteries on top of it, which aren't particularly environmentally friendly. So I really feel like hydrogen has to be the way forward. And I know there's a few car people I watch who kind of think the same thing. I've always thought that. Leslie Adina, what has been your biggest learning this year? And 2, what is your dream car and bag? My biggest learning this year has been don't take your health for granted. I always make these big wishes at the beginning of each year, and I always forget to put good health in there, and then I had this thing on my ankle, and that's kind of what's ruined the year for me. It's part of what's ruined the year for me. And it just made me realise how I haven't had so much as a cold since 2020. And it's made me realise, don't take that for granted. Do not take that for granted. And this for me has been like a warning sign of just watch yourself, you know. My dream car, so I've got my dream car, but I think I said I'm looking to get a new car in the new year. I know what I'm going to get. I'm not going to give anything away, but guys, I'm going to tell you it's pinky lilac colour. And I know when I decide to sell it one day, I spoke to the dealership and my salesperson there said, Sophie, it's a gorgeous car, because I've already done the configurator and I sent him the link. He said to me, it actually looks really amazing. But he did say, because of the colour, because it's pastel pink, he said, I'm going to struggle to sell this if you ever wanted to sell it, you know. And I know, but he did say to me, he said, you have been umming and ahhing over this colour ever since I've known you, which has been about 2 years now. And he said, I think you should just get it. I think you should just do it. So I'm going to do that in the new year. I don't know when. I need to think about it. And then the final, and my dream bag. I don't really have a dream bag at the moment. I feel like I've got everything that I want. There's nothing I can think of that I'm particularly yearning for, except that Fendi bag, but even that, I don't know. This next one, KL Fife, I love you. You're also a patron. You've said, happy Christmas to you and David, dear girl. Thank you, and also a massive happy Christmas and New Year to you. Just a couple more. The next one is from M1SSTWEE. Do you know about the website Secret Sales plus the charity shop on Regent Street open till Christmas Eve? I know about Secret Sales, and Rue Lala is another really good one actually, if you want like Fendi and Gucci and Saint Laurent, etc. They, and Louboutin I've seen on there too. I didn't know about this charity shop though. I did see something where Cellier had, they put a Birkin bag in a charity shop in London somewhere, and you had to go and find it, and I thought that's such a good idea. The next one is KH Vantage. Do you guys miss not having a supercar? That's a really good question. So we've had before the Lamborghini, the McLaren, we've had a couple of Bentleys. At the moment we've got a Porsche GT3. The Porsche GT3 I would say is more of a sports car than like an exotic. Do we miss not having an exotic? Nah. Yes and no. I'm a Porsche girl, okay? That's always going to be my thing. David's more the exotic person. And he hasn't really longed for one in a while. He's looking at an Audi RS3 at the moment. You know, he's not looking... He did look at the... Is it the Lamborghini? The new one that's out. Can't remember the name of it. Begins with T. Can't remember. He did look at that. But... he had so many problems in those cars with people driving dangerously around him, attracting the wrong attention, and not being able to park it outside a place because you're worried about someone. You know, you park it outside the supermarket, you come back to it and there'd be like people around it looking in through the windows. Or I even had it on the GT3, hand marks on my windows where people had looked in. And you just think that's a bit weird, you know, and it puts you off buying them. And also we had the McLaren through COVID, and you drove that outside because you needed to give it a run. People would be flipping you the bird because they were annoyed that you had the car and it was COVID or whatever. So for that reason, I've always liked the Porsches because they're sporty, but they go under the radar. I've still been flipped the bird in my Porsche. I still have. I remember driving down the road one summer, and do you remember I had the red 911, the Carrera 4, I think it was. I had the roof down. It was a boiling hot summer's day, and I was driving down the road, and there were two guys walking along, and one of them literally flipped me the bird. And I couldn't stop laughing because I thought, why? I'm minding my own business here in my own car. You know, what? I don't know why you have to be there. I just found it funny, to be honest. But yeah, that kind of could be a problem in it. And then another one. This is from Veronica, who has said, what are you planning to eat for Christmas Eve and for Christmas lunch? So we always go like really traditional with it. We're like turkey, roast potatoes, all the trimmings, vegetables, gravy, and then, you know, Christmas pudding, you know how it's made out of that fruit sultanas? I actually don't like it, but when it's Christmas, I eat it. And it's the same with sprouts. I don't like sprouts at all. I think they are gross little things, but on Christmas you have to eat them. And I think if they're roasted off a little bit, so they're a bit crunchy, it's not so bad. It makes them a bit more palatable, but I don't really love them. And then David Berg, love you as well. You have said, what's your fondest Christmas memory? This is the final question, by the way. My fondest Christmas memory. When I grew up, I do not come from money, and the things that one of the things I love my parents for is that they always did fun activities with us that either didn't cost much or were free. And a lot of it was crafting and making things and just doing all sorts of fun things. And one thing that always sticks in my mind that happened one Christmas is it must have been the beginning of December, and I think must have been around about 6 years old or something, and at the bottom of our garden where we used to live, there was a wood area. My dad's a builder, okay, so he had his tools with him, and we went into the wood, myself and my sister, and we picked a log each, and he like chopped up the log into sort of this size, about this size, with the bark on it, you know. And then he used this special tool to drill a hole in the top of it to put a candle. And then we took our logs back inside, and my mum was there. And my sister and I and my mum and dad, we decorated our logs, and we put glitter and glue, and we had like tall candles that we put in the hole on the top, and we made it all Christmassy, and then we used them as table decorations. And I will never forget it. I will never forget it. It was something that was so simple. It was free, but it was, I don't remember getting toys and stuff, but I remember that. And it's a memory that I often reminisce with David about. And even my parents, I will say, do you remember that time we did this? And it means so much to me to have had that time. To have crafted and to have made stuff, and as I say, it was free, and it was very Christmassy, very festive, and very good fun. So they are all of your questions. I'm sure there will be some more that come through, so if I haven't answered your question here, it may be that your question comes through after I've already filmed this video, because what time is it? It's like 10 past 11 in the morning, so I might have missed you. But thank you to all of you who asked a question. I hope that you have enjoyed watching. And I will see you on Christmas Eve, which is Tuesday, okay? No, Wednesday, okay? So watch out on Christmas Eve for a selection of Christmassy videos that I'm gonna try and do a video every day through until New Year thereafter. So I hope that you enjoy watching. And just a quick one. Sorry, I know this video is long. If you have any video topic ideas, please leave them in the comments below, and I will get onto those as well.